Hi, Tile at Infidelity here. Today we're going to talk about actually a whole family of headphones. This is the Denon ADH or AH-D5000. The headphone is made by a company. The original equipment manufacturer is a company called Foster in Japan, and they're actually the parent company of Fostex that makes a lot of headphones. And these original Denon headphones, Denon AH-D2000, D5000, and D7000 headphones were kind of the first headphones that were built on that platform. The Foster 44, 37, 42, their OEM model. And there's links in the article on Infidelity back to the original equipment manufacturer's product page. At any rate, when these came out, this particular one, the D5000, was about $500. The D7000 was much more expensive, almost $1,000, and the D2000, if I recall, was maybe in the $399 or $299 range. But at any rate, when they came out, they were fairly expensive headphones, but they were also quite good sounding. This is a sealed headphone. It's really only a semi-sealed headphone. It really doesn't seal that well from the outside sounds. But when they came out, they were pretty much the best sealed headphone around at the time. The character of these headphones is that they sound a little over-emphatic in the treble and over-emphatic in the bass. They're a U-shaped headphone with emphasis on both the bass and the treble. And I don't like that sound very much, although I do find that all these headphones sound better when they're played at lower volume because of the Fletcher-Munson equal loudness contour curves. At any rate, I thought the D5000 was the best of the original line, but it still has this overemphasized treble and overemphasized bass. The bass is kind of a little loose and not very tight, and a little bit overemphasized. It bleeds into the mid-range a little bit, just a kind of a thick and sounding, a little bit bloated sounding bass. And the treble's got emphasis up in the 4 to 8K region a little bit. It's too bright up there, and the presence region, sort of between 800 and 3000 hertz, is a little bit withdrawn, making voices sound a little bit muffled or distant. So that's the general character of this headphone. What we have today is there's a number of headphones that are now being made and now available that are based on this original Foster design. And the first one is the Fostex TH610. This has a removable cable on the headphone, which is a little unusual for these headphones. And make sure you get it in the right way. Which is a little unusual for these headphones. This is about a $600 headphone, and it's pretty clearly an improvement to my ears over the original Denon, but not by a lot. This headphone sounds a little bit uneven. Its tonality is more correct, but it still has that smiley face signature. But mostly it's the unevenness and the sort of graininess that this headphone has that it's better, but it's not as good as it can be in my view. And then the next headphone we have is the Massdrop exclusive Fostex TH-X00. This headphone turned out to be really nice sounding. Still has that somewhat smiley face signature, but the treble is tamed some. The bass is tighter and less bloated. Really, this has a nice sound signature, even though it is still a little bit smiley face. And I tend to run them at a lower volume. But this is pretty darn good, nice smooth sounding compared to the TH610 from Fostex. And this headphone was available on Massdrop for $3.99. So at that price, this becomes a real bargain in a lot of ways. It's less expensive than the original D5000, quite a bit better sounding than the original headphone, less expensive than the TH610 by quite a bit, $300. So boy, this one gets a hearty recommendation from me. If they put it up on a Massdrop again soon, I would definitely, if I was interested in these headphones, I definitely would go for that. But another headphone that's just come along, and it's had a couple of Massdrops of its own, is the Emu Teak. That's E-MU Teak model. This was also on Massdrop for $449, but it's on Emu is a company that's a subsidiary of Creative, and on the Creative sites in Singapore, they're going for about $700 US. However, when they were on Massdrop, they were on $449, so only $50 more than the TH-X00. And I found I like these better than the TH-X00 by a pretty good amount. This one is just more liquid sounding and more friendly sounding. It has a little bit more laid back highs up top, so it's not quite as U-shaped as the others. The bass is a little bit looser than the TH-X00, so if you want to really slam and bass or something like that, you may want to steer you towards the TH-X00. But if you're looking for a more refined and liquid sound overall, I found these headphones to be pretty terrific, actually. I enjoyed them quite a bit. And then the very expensive $1,200 or $1,300 Fostex TH900mk2. This is the second iteration of this headphone. Also has the removable cables on it. This headphone has a completely different cup. It's round, and if I'll show you one of the other cups, and you can if I can hold this all with two different hands. And you can see that the 610 has an ear-shaped hole in the cup, and the 900 has a round hole in the cup. When I listen to these headphones, I just want to smack them off my head. They are very bright and aggressive sounding headphones. They are really, really not good in my opinion at all. And when I saw that the ear cup was, they also have damping material inside the cups, so these are the only ones that have damping materials inside the cups, and I thought that they would be smoother sounding given that. But when I noticed that the cups were different, I switched the cups from the TH610 with these because they're interchangeable, and man, they got a lot better sounding. So if you have a pair of TH900 or TH900mk2s, I would recommend immediately going and getting the ear pads from the 610s and swapping them out. To my ears, they didn't get as good as the TH-X00 or the Emu Teak, but they sure look pretty. And if you've got some, I would definitely say go get the other pads. Just a side note here, Emu has also different wooden backs for their cups. This is the ebony. It's another ebony. I think this is the rosewood, and this is the mahogany. And they're all beautifully finished ear cups. And you can get the headphones with other woods. But after trying the Emu Teak, I felt that the Teak really was the best sounding of the woods. The other woods tended to make it sound a little bit more like the TH-X00, so it was a little bit drier sound, a little bit less romantic and liquid sounding. The other thing about the wood is up here in Montana, it's very, very dry, and I had some of these cups around here for a month and then tried to fit them on, and even the ebony right out of the box, after it came from Japan, it had dried out enough where it had dimensionally changed and I couldn't fit it on anymore. And so what I did was put a moist paper towel underneath the cups and put them in a plastic bag and sealed it off so that the wood would absorb the moisture, and that did expand the wood. So all these headphones have wooden cups, and if you are getting spare cups for them and live in a dry climate and find yourself with a cup that's gotten too small mechanically, you can certainly moisten them in the way I mentioned, and you can probably get them back to fit on. All right, so bottom line, the Emu Teak is a terrific headphone. I think it's bound for the Wall of Fame. And the Fostex, the Mass Drop Fostex TH-X00 is also really good. I don't think I'm going to put it up on the Wall of Fame, but I'm certainly going to mention it on the Wall of Fame because it's a worthy headphone, and depending on what the price comes out for the Emu Teak, it may be actually the more value laden proposition. All right, well, hope you get a chance to hear some of these headphones sometime soon, and keep your eye out for that Emu Teak showing up on Mass Drop. Same with the TH-X00. They're both terrific headphones, and we'll see you guys the next time.